Hey, so I've had a lot of folks ask me about the work order function within the Microsoft RMS point of sale software. Actually, quite a few stores in the last couple of weeks. I think part of it is some curiosity, or a lot of it, folks have been using the software so long, they don't realize what the work order function can and can't do. So I'm going to give just a really quick, brief run through on work orders. And we're actually going to start from the point of the work order being recalled, because I think most folks know how to create a work order, put the comment on there, take the deposit, but they don't understand kind of what happens or what the capabilities are after that point. So we're going to use F11 to recall, and we're going to recall a work order. And if this is a bit laggy, it's because of the older laptop that I'm using. It's not RMS. So the scenario I've created here is that we have someone that has bought a computer that needs assembling, and I realize don't look at the details. I just quickly created some parts and things like that. So I realize this is not a complete PC because there's no power supply um, at any rate. So what we have here is we have our work order. We have a comment. Now keep in mind when you're doing with work orders and some of the other things in RMS, there's two different places to put comments. There is an overall comment, which is found in Shift F9. It says details, but that is the overall comment. When I say the overall comment, I am talking about the comment about the work order itself, which once we type it in is going to appear up here. The other comments are the ones that go by the items, like with our labor. Those type of comments are Control F10. Now the idea here is there's probably some sort of work in progress. We need to have it assembled, sorry. We need to burn it in. There might be some other labor going on, and that's where our labor SKUs have come in. One tip when doing this, I've worked at one place where we used RMS internally, and for labor, when we used the labor, obviously non-stock, and usually non-taxable labor SKU, depending on your state. We also added the initials for the technician. So labor-KA meant Kevin Antosh's labor. Neat way of tracking, who's working on it, things like that. So if we have some more labor, we can add it, and then again, once we're over the description, we can do our Control F10 and then type in our comments. So that is pretty cool. Now, one thing we're going to run into, because now when I hit my F12, it's going to ask, do I want to save? Do I want to pick up? Do I want to pick up partial? And I'll get back to what partial means in just a second. But depending on your deposit settings, because I just added some labor at a cost, it's now going to want an additional deposit. So do factor that if you're using work orders, it can get kind of funky if there are settings where you want a deposit to always be, 50% or whatever. If someone goes in and there's a charge for parts and labor, then it's going to expect an additional deposit. Anyway, but that, again, that can be worked around with some various settings on your deposits and requirements and things like that when setting up work orders. Okay, so I mentioned partial. So the idea behind partial is maybe there's two computers on this work order, or two separate repair products. Take your pick of scenarios. And then this would allow you to just pick up partially, maybe just one computer, things like that. So that's kind of an overview. We are going to go ahead and just say we're going to pick up the whole thing because we called the customer and they're in. And this is where then we continue tendering out the sale just as normal. So there you go. Nice quick overview of work order function in Microsoft RMS. Thanks.